Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, this is Nigel's pond. If you're new to the channel, this was the pond that my father built in the late 80s, which I do have fond memories of myself and my sister helping out, but you know what it's like when you're 8-9 years old. You do sort of like 10 minutes of digging and go, that's it, I'm done. So I don't really remember doing a great deal, but I remember the photo being taken at least anyway, probably because I see the photo. Right, so we are back and we are doing a mid-spring update. So it has been sort of like about 6 weeks since I've done the spring update, and we're just round the corner from summer. I came out here about 15 minutes ago, sun was shining, I was like yeah I'll make a crack on the garden, and then it started raining and I was just like, oh really? So I've had to wait 5 minutes, put it off. But yeah, the sun's come back out again. Not sure how long it's going to be out for, but it is out. So what have we been up to? Well, we've cut the grass several times, and you can see at the far end I've kind of left like a little insecty kind of wildlife area at the end. So we're just going to let that grow. I don't know how long for, probably until I get annoyed with it and then just mow it all down. But yeah, we've got a couple of wildflowers in there that shouldn't be there, weeds, dandelions, you know, that kind of stuff. But the bluebells are dying off as well, which is unfortunate. And so at the beginning of the month, so at the beginning of spring, sorry, the plum tree came into, the Victoria plum tree came into blossom. And then as that sort of like came out of blossom, the pear tree came into blossom, and now the apple tree is in full blossom, and that's looking absolutely amazing. It is starting to drop all its leaves now, all its blossoms, so that's coming to an end. But it is nice when it adds a little bit of colour to the garden. Right, well today I need to get up there and up that tree a little bit there, cut off some of the dead plants. Got all the filters to clean, so it has been about 6 weeks. That pump needs swapping over again because it's all clogged up with little stones. So that's the central heating pump that we're using on this end. The far end, the pressure filter needs cleaning out. I expect the main pump as well, that needs cleaning. Got the pump to clean on the veg filter, and also we've got all the lilies coming out, which is lovely. So stick around and have a look at all of that and some of the wildlife. Well, we've got a foxy cat come visit in the garden, so because we had the foxy cat, that's why I thought I'd leave sort of like that grassy area just there, because it was such an unexpected animal to come into the garden that I thought, well, what else could we not expect in the garden? Obviously we're not going to get deer or anything like that, but still. Yeah, let's crack on. Right, so we got the filter down the far end done. We swapped over the pump. The veg filter's all nice and clean now. Final job before I can feed the fish is actually clean the pressure filter out. So this is the Pontec pressure filter. It's quite an old one, and it does actually have the option here of compressing, pulling this lever up to clean the filters inside. And basically what that does is it compresses the filters. But the problem that I find with this is that when you do this and you compress those filters, they never actually expand properly again. So you end up having to take it apart anyway. But I'm going to do it today because in the past, when I don't do it, the water's really, really minging. So this way I'm hoping that the water's not so minging. And it just cleans it out a little bit more. I've also got my Spidey gloves on. Spidey gloves. Yeah. And then hopefully I'll get a clip of Foxy Cat. Foxy Cat does whatever a foxy cat does. Hopefully I'll get a clip of him because that's mad. Oh, that water's minging. Right, I'm going to go turn the pump off down the far end. Some good feed there for the for some of the plants. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get the watering can and chuck it in the watering can so I can feed them later. Feed all the plants. That was a perfect amount, one watering can. Right. Ooh, the size of that spider, that's a beast. Where you going, mate? Come here. Oh, he's gone. That's why I got my Spidey gloves on. It was huge. And it's actually, as I said, it squashes the sponges up, it never actually pushes them back down again. But it's all blocked up in there anyway and all needs cleaning out properly. Water's minging, let's get rid of this first. Just get that little nut and that little washer off the end there. And then take all this off. Disgusting. Yeah, to be fair, there is a little bit of blanket weed in there, but not much at all. But like I say, this is the first time I've cleaned any of this out since, when was it? Yeah, beginning of April, wasn't it? Beginning of spring. But obviously as the fish are now starting to feed, I'm feeding them a little bit, they're obviously producing more waste. So this is going to have to be done a lot more regularly. That's good enough. Oh, what a shitty job. Well, I don't want to go too mad on it because I can see there's a lot of like worms and that on there, so obviously they're clearing up and eating all that crap. So I don't want to go crazy cleaning it all, washing them all off. Story of my life, jumping the gun. Put the little nut and washer back on. let's go get the face. Spidey gloves again. Spidey gloves, Spidey gloves. But the neighbour's looking out the window going, what the hell is he on to? What is he on? What's he on about? Fucking weirdo, mate. He's talking to himself in the corner. Don't want to forget that little rubber, otherwise it will leak. Just carefully line her up. Make sure she goes on square. Happy days. Well, I think we're ready to switch her back on. Well, I hope you're not expecting anything dramatic, because it won't be. But I am just going to hold this over here for a sec. Make sure all the first bit of water is, because it always comes up dirty to start off with, what's still sort of like in the inside, a little bit here. And once it squirts, I can then put it in the pond. I can hear it. There we go, nice and clear now. What's going on here then? Right, I just had to pull all the netting tight, but let's get you off from here. The ace is doing really well. And when you compare it to this ace over here, this one, they were both planted the same time. They were both the same size. Unbelievable. Right, that's all going now. I'm just going to go round the back. There's a lot of weeds coming up along the fence line. So I'm just going to go round there, weed all of that out. Fish are looking really good. The fry, they're doing amazing. They are actually coming up to the surface now to feed. So I don't know if we'd better pick too many of them up. Oh yeah, there comes there's the peach one underneath at the bottom there. Oh look, there's the black one. I don't know if you're going to see him munching off the bottom. I think that one's the shakoi. It's hard to see. You can tell by their behaviour they definitely want feeding. So we'll do that in a moment. See the lilies coming up, there's loads of lilies. They're doing really well in there. The lilies do better in here than they do in the pond. Well, I guess that's the idea of a veg filter, isn't it? But yeah, the lilies in there, there is one or two leaves that are coming up, I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see that, can't you? There is a few others, but it looks like the crows have been munching on them. Glorious weather. You can see how long the grass got. Absolutely, look at that. I don't think it sort of like shows much perspective, but that's like deep. Deep. So let's take a look at some of the wildlife that's been in the garden recently, and we start off with this horrible little creepy crawly. I say horrible only because I don't really like them, but there's nothing really wrong with them, is there? I mean, they have their place in the garden. After all, getting rid of all these little flies and midges. We've also had an incredible amount of birds visiting the garden recently, and I was quite surprised when I went into the garden the other day to find, I think, the whole population of birds. Birds. I don't know what birds these are. Starling, are they? I don't know. But there's a lot of them, and yeah, I think the whole flock just stopped in. There's hundreds of them. There's loads of them. And here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. And it's quite incredible to see this in the garden. And I give you Foxy Cat. Foxy cat, does whatever a foxy cat does. Climbs a fence, climbs a tree, jumps a fence, jumps off the fence. Mate, this was, it was just mad. Incredible to see something like this in the garden. I wouldn't have, I don't know, I just didn't expect them to get up onto that fence. Quite incredible, really. But I think he clocked me. He saw I was filming, and yeah, it wasn't long after he was gone. Now for me, we are now coming up to one of my favourite times, and that is when we feed the fish. So it is fish feeding time. Feed the fishies, feed the fishies.
Yeah, the fish are going absolutely crazy, so they definitely want some feeding. And it looks like it's just about to start raining, which is very unfortunate. But they'll still come up and eat. But let's have a look if we can get the goldfish on camera first. Zoom in. There we go. There we go, happy days. And now let's see, I'm hoping we can capture the fry coming up to eat. They know it's feeding time. See, that's one of the fry there, that black one. I think he's almost the same size as that gold one there. Oh, the orange one's here as well, just here. That orange one there, that's the fry. Right at the bottom here. So that's two of the fry we've seen come up to feed. So there's still the peach one, the koi, and the silver koi. Oh, there's the peach one. You can see the peach one right down the far end. There he is. There he is. Happy days. And he is quite small compared to the others. But at least he's not shy getting up there now. He's a good old bunch. Yeah, so it's taken them a good few weeks to get comfortable in here, I guess. I mean, even there's the shikoi. I don't know if you can see him. Right, let's have a look. Trying to catch him on camera and zoom in is actually quite hard. So the only one I haven't seen now is the silver one. No idea where that is. It doesn't help where the far end of the pond's in the shade, and with the black lining as well, it's hard to see the fish down that end. Oh no, the silver one's down here. Right on, he's just still not coming up to the surface, just feeding off the bottom again. And here comes the rain. we have to retreat. Don't want the gimbal getting wet. Oh, oh dear. Where are you going, mate? Over there. Oh dear, look, typical spring. Such a nice day. Oh well, that's fun. The only thing I haven't got done yet is the weeding. So, oh, the joys. I mean, it's probably just going to pass over in a second. So I could wait a moment or two. Yeah, let's get a cup of tea, shall we, while we're waiting?
Needed this cup of tea, I'm telling you. Right, well, while I was waiting for the kettle to boil, the rain actually stopped and I managed to get out there and get all of the cuttings done while the kettle was boiling. So all of the weeding has been done. And now, one last job I want to do today, and that's to scarify the lawn. But it's not really scarifying the lawn, I'm just going to give it a good old rake, but only this half of the garden, you know, what I've already pre-mowed. Yeah, happy days. Right, let's get out there. I don't know what to say. Rubbish weather. So I'm not going to be scarifying the lawn or raking it up or anything like that. And besides, not only that, Tim, if you're watching this, where's the rake? I can't find the rake anywhere, so yeah, I'm gonna have to. I think my brother might have borrowed it along with the strimmer, which is why I don't know if you can see, but along the edges. Oh yeah, none of it's been cut. But I'm not doing it by hand with the shears. That's just long, too much effort. Right, I'm going to call it a day, as you do. Right, thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, give it a thumbs up and yourself a pat on the back. Right, thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.